All right, next up we have Jeff Adams, who hails from all the way over in Bremerton, from the Kitsap County area, and works for Washington Sea Grant. He's a photographer, videographer, and he's here to talk about volunteer training and looking at beach profiles. So according to my instructions, that gets you right to your slides.
Excellent. Where's the
laser pointer right in the front there? There you go, and the right-hand button, advance.
Excellent.
Wander.
Excellent. Okay, thanks everybody. And so I came out here from Illinois to go to the UW in 1992 and got an undergraduate degree in oceanography. And then I went on to study freshwater biological assessment, so stream bugs, for graduate work at the UW. And then I came back to the UW after a time in freshwater. And so I have this affinity for monitoring, biological monitoring, citizen involvement, particularly as a way to account for some of the projects that we do, some of the restoration work that we do, the dollars we put into projects, and things like that. So I have a colleague who's involved in a project on Bainbridge, removing 1,500 linear feet of bulkhead from a private property, and big project. And earlier this year, I was talking to one of the colleagues involved in the project, and they said that they were concerned that there was really no pre-project monitoring in place and not necessarily a vision for how that might go on into the farther future where we might expect to see changes over time. So that gave me kind of this impression on the other end of the phone line. We decided to tackle the project, which is when we actually came out and found this strange little species on the beach. And what we did is we used, because we didn't really have time to invent something, and we went to something that we were kind of developing, and I should say, a project we were utilizing existing tools from the Island County Beach Watchers. The Beach Watchers program had been doing beach profiles, and we were beginning to get ready to use those tools around Kitsap County. Myself with Washington Sea Grant, colleagues with WSU Extension, and volunteers that we have in the Kitsap Beach Naturalists, the Bainbridge Beach Naturalists, and we were starting to use these protocols at different beaches, but then we got this question, it's like, well, how can we take these protocols and move them farther up the beach where the action's going to be, where the bulkhead's going to come out? So what happens here with the volunteers is they, where does that, there it is. So we come from down the beach along a profile line perpendicular to the beach, using these highly technical sticks to judge the drop in elevation. It was fascinating. On this particular project, we followed existing profile lines done by consultants, and we were pretty much spot on. As we go down, we actually record presence absence of the biota that we see as we go down. So this is one example. This bulkhead is around a peninsula, a wooden bulkhead around a peninsula, and it came out. So a profile line that came down like this. Biota, we're capturing the salt marsh vegetation, distribution of things like barnacles and snails, and then crabs, hermit crabs, and things like that, seaweeds as we go further down. So we can actually relate where these species are present to the tidal elevations. Now the bulkhead's out, and this is a fishing net. There was a newspaper in here from the 70s with Syria and some sort of conflict. You know, oddly enough, we found faux Greek columns in there. So fortunately, that part's been removed as well. Fascinating what's behind these bulkheads. But now we can actually follow, over the course of time, how this transition behaves, the connectivity between the upland and the shoreline vegetation and the beach. Again, a very quick introduction, and one of the reasons that we're really interested in kind of introducing others to this, Island County, Snohomish County, the Beach Watcher programs have been doing some of this. We are interested, I've got a couple students who are going to be working on elements of this project. We are interested in finding ways to enhance what the volunteers can contribute. It is something that is sustainable. Our gear will cost a total of $30. So it's something that we can do with volunteer time and some professional time, which Sea Grant is offering. But there are other things that we don't feel like we're quite capturing. Benthic critters, their insect fallout. There might be some really key elements to following these, the restoration that we aren't capturing. Be interested in feedback on that, but also want to encourage you to talk to me if you're interested, or if your organizations are interested in this type of work. Because you can imagine if we build a database up of this kind of information over the Puget Sound, both from a naturalist perspective and from a restoration science perspective, it would be pretty interesting. That's it. Thank you.